Hello, my name is Pinky is Crazy, and today I got a story for you. But first, I'm gonna need you to like that like button. If you don't like it, a ghost is gonna sneak in and tickle your toesies. Unless you're into that kind of thing, then don't like it. Second, I'm gonna need you to subscribe. Subscribing allows you to see when I post new videos, and I'm posting a lot of videos. So go ahead and hit that notification. Third, I want you to comment. Tell me a story or a creepy or just a basic story about a time that you was freaked out. And then, well, that'll be all. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get this story on the roll. Hi, my name is Bobby. I used to do construction as a crane operator. That all came to an end when I found my wife sleeping with my boss. I just kind of gave up. I just left our home, never turned back, kept driving south from New York, ended up in West Virginia alone at a diner. It was about 7:30 in the morning when I was reading the newspaper. I came across the comic funny section. Same old Garfield mixed with life sucks all in one. It had been about 3 weeks, and I didn't feel any better. The hotels sucked, and I mostly slept in my truck. Remembering the day I got off early because my boss didn't answer his phone to start another job, it is engraved in my mind. The shocked looks on their faces as I opened the doorknob, too busy to hear the boots getting taken off. I would buy a bottle of Kentucky whiskey to try and forget. Nothing would soothe my heartache. The pain I felt was insane. Never knew it would hurt this much from a broken heart. I was lost in thought when the waitress pulled up a chair. "What's her name?" she asked. Well, I shocked back to reality. "Huh?" I said, confused. "Her name. What's the girl's name?" She looked deep into my eyes. What girl?" I replied. "The one who hurt you." I replied, "Does it matter? It's over now." Talking to someone helps. It helped me when my ex cheated. I know that looks so. Tell me her name. She spoke softly from the heart, exposing her feelings. She wasn't scared. So I put my foot forward. Emily. Her name is Emily. It felt good, like a weight had fallen off my chest. I told the blonde waitress everything, to how we met at a coffee shop off a dating website, talked about our dreams, living in a country house, owning some cattle like horses and cows, live off the land, get some chickens and ducks. It was a dream. After 3 years, it just got put on hold. Bill stopped us from pursuing those dreams, car payment, plus a house loan. It felt good to tell the stranger my worries, melting like butter on a hot plate. In the end, I asked her, "What's your age, young lady?" After all, I was 33. Meanwhile, she looked younger, maybe 25 or younger. She responded fast, "I'm 22 years old." I was right. She was young. I asked, "What did you do to get over it?" She sat for a second and replied, "There is a fire watch tower, probably 20 miles from here, called Thorny Mountain Fire Watch Tower. I stayed there for a summer, finding myself. You should go too." I looked deep into her eyes. I could see she was for real about it. I love nature, but a man in a fire watch tower, it just felt unnatural to me. Heartbroken, man goes into the woods. Classic. Now that I thought about it, I thanked her and asked if she would give this old man a hug. She nodded and embraced me, and I did the same. "Stay away from the lights and the woods," she said. I just looked at her and nodded, not truly knowing what to say. She pointed me in the right direction, and I went there. I arrived. It was almost 9 a.m. in the morning. I found a phone booth and called the tower's number. I was greeted with a joyful "hello." I explained my name was Bobby, that I wanted to stay in the tower. They said I could stay, but I would need to pay the fee. It was $50. And a soul. I said, "Excuse me." "I need a soul, Bobby. Give me your soul." I said, "Are you playing with me?" The voices went silent, then crackle. "Hello, this is Thorny Mountain Fire Watch Tower. Todd speaking." "Sir, are you playing with me?" I said, upset. "Sir, this is the Fire Watch Tower of Thorny Mountain. How can I help you?" I was upset and pressed. "My name is Bobby. I want to stay in a Fire Watch Tower," I said shakingly. Okay, are you afraid of bears? I replied with no. Do you mind being gone from people for 3 months? I also answered no. I'll be down and I'll show you the way. Just give me some time. I said my goodbyes and waited for Todd. An hour had passed when he showed up. Todd pulled up on a white Ford Ranger XL F-150. He had a brown haircut like they used a bowl to line it up. He wore a tan t-shirt along with some blue jeans while wearing boots. He waved. "Are you Bobby?" he asked, walking up. I nodded, handing out my hand for a handshake. He grabbed it firmly. "So you are volunteering to be a lookout, Bobby?" I nodded, and he looked at me, telling something was off. "What's wrong, man?" I told him about the voices over the phone. He said it must have been a prankster that picked up the phone on the other end. He explained that all the telephones were hooked up to each tower, that any tower could answer, except everyone was doing inspection. He shrugged it off. Told me the rules. Rule number 1, stay on the path at all times. You hear voices or anything calling for help, stay on the path. Rule number 2, close and lock your tower, including your generator hut. Rule number 3, don't leave at night for any reason. Rule number 4, 2 hours before dark, make sure you're at the tower. Rule number 5, call a tower when you are having problems you can't handle. Todd led me to these boxes. He explained that each box belonged to different towers. North being Todd's, belonging to him. My box is the south, and Jennifer's is east. I am not to touch them, though they had locks on them. So accessing the boxes would be difficult without the keys. He handed me mine. On the watchtower are walkie-talkies and a phone. Don't mess with the phone unless you have to call in a fire. The phone number will be on the table, covered with tape. There's the keys for the tower. He handed me an old-looking skeleton key. Told me to follow the trail signs to go to the South Lookout Tower. I thanked Todd, then grabbed the supplies and the South box. It was a black sack, heavy to my feeling. I was practically carrying 40 pounds. Then I started up the trail. The first sign I came across said 5.4 miles to South Tower. It was uneventful for the most part. Saw some songbirds flying by, the normal crickets and wood sounds you hear. It had been about an hour into the walk when I got this feeling I was being watched. This feeling, it wasn't the same, like a person saw you. My hairs rose on my neck. I couldn't help but turn around. When I swiveled my head, I seen a deer up this mountain area, but the eyes didn't look right. For what I could see, they looked smaller. I squinted harder. That's when I noticed the front legs were bigger than the back. It was staring at me, not moving or making a sound. Didn't even run. I took the event into my notes as such a weird deer today. Then continued up the trail. I could still feel the weird feeling of being watched. I finally reached an opening, and there it was, the tower. I made my way to the tower as my shoulders and back were on fire. I told myself that once I got up there, I could rest. After all, 5.5 miles takes a lot out of a man. After climbing the stairs, which felt like forever, I reached into my blue jeans pockets and pulled out the skeleton key. Put it into the keyhole, turned it until it made a click. I stepped in, surprised and it smelled like burnt cider. Don't ask me how I know that. It just feels like such a unique smell. I placed my bags on the table. There was a wood stove to the far right of the room. It felt like things wanted to keep it away from the door. I remember that I needed to lock the latch that I opened. After all, that's a rule. I shut and locked it, then walked back inside. I noticed a table close to me had a chair. I parked my booty there when started looking into food. I had some rice, oats, noodles, trail mix, granola bars, and waters. I saw the kitchen area and went over to discover what the tower had to offer. The sink was a pump, like the old wells, only offered cold water. A sign hung in the window, "Don't drink, only cook with." That explained the 2 packs of water I checked. The cupboards, they had cobwebs with some old pots and pans made of cast iron. I checked the drawers. One had some old photos of the girl I seen. Back at the diner, she was alone in the woods for most pictures in a bathing suit, swimming rocks on the trail like mountains, which I remember that's where I seen the deer which made me look a little deeper. That's when I saw the same deer chilling up the rocks. Also, I started looking at them all. The deer was in almost every one, except one, dated 1982, June 23. This is a new beginning. That's all I read. I was confused. She was 22, but somehow said 1982. Must be that she was doing something like drugs or something of that nature. But it itched my brain. Further, it just didn't make sense. I seen her, but she looks like the same, much in the photos. Still didn't add up because 1982 was 20 years ago. I gathered the photos, found a journal in the next drawer. I read the name Caroline Martins in it. I read the first couple lines. The year is 1982, May 3rd. I caught my boyfriend in a townhouse with another woman. It was hard to watch as he rose from my bed. They shared. The woman smirking, I realized she was a colleague of mine from work. She had been trying to get my tables. I was upset to see this. I asked people around me what to do. They told me that he wasn't the one, that I'm better without him, but the idea remains. June 1st, 1982. I heard that people who needed to find themselves come to this fire watchtower. To find my calling, a hobby, I used to like hiking. I just need to be alone. June 10th, 1982. I finally did it. I finally got to the fire watchtower. It was a hike, indeed, but I made it. With my camera, clothes, bagging, and food. The guy named Frank was cool enough to show me the meal box. He gave me the skeleton keys. Some strange rules, but it is bear country after all, so I understand. Though wildlife here is weird. I swear, after walking what felt like forever, I heard someone call my name. They were far away, but I was told to stay on the trail, so I listened. Just bugs me a little bit, but I'm settling in. I'll retire and read the books. I thought, after reading that, something was seriously wrong. The dates were right. So no mistake in it. That only made more questions than answers. I needed food and drink, so I grabbed a pot, put some water in it, measured out some rice, then walked down the stairs after unlocking the latch. I fetched some firewood, some rope they left as kindling. I cooked my meal, added some salt afterward, then ate it. It was probably 3 o'clock. The clock on the wall didn't work when I heard a crackling in the corner. Bobby, come in, it's Todd to the north. I see smoke. Is everything okay? I made my way to the walkie-talkies. 10-4, this is Bobby. Cooking show. Want some rice? I replied jokingly. Ha ha, he laughed. I got chili, man. I don't need any more food. How are you settling in so far? I paused. After all, I saw and read some weird stuff. So I leaned forward. Nature in the woods, good for clearing the mind. Do you know anything about a Caroline Martins? He paused and sighed. Bears, man. They suck. She started wandering off the trail. She did not radio in, and they did a manhunt. Found remains in the woods by a mountain peak. It's an old one, but as a full-time fire watch worker, you learn some sad stories. One of many. The rules are to keep you safe. Remember that, Bobby. Enjoy your food. Remember to clock in every day around 3 o'clock. That clock has a battery pushed a little out behind it. Just slap it in and correct it with your watch. I'll hear from you tomorrow. I went to the clock and corrected it. I laid in the bed once I finished eating. I then woke up in my bed with the cold sweat going. I had that same feeling. Someone or something was watching me. I ran to the door, scanned. I forgot to close the hatch. I ran out and slammed the lock. It's that when I saw some lights reflected in the woods, two beady eyes staring at me. The moon was half lit with some cloud cover. That's when I heard it. Help me. Then a pause. Then again, help me. I was honestly freaked out. I heard it, but didn't see no movement. The beady eyes were locked on me. I could hear it again. Bobby, help me. My name and familiarized voice. I couldn't place it. $50 and your soul, Bobby. I was freaked out. I ran to the radio. Todd, you there? I repeated again. Nothing rung back. Help me. It sounded far away this time. The eyes were gone. I was shaking, scared to death. My heart was pounding loud and through my chest. Bobby, it's 2 in the morning. What's wrong, man? I grabbed the walkie-talkie. There is something crazy shit going on. I screamed into the walkie-talkie. No, there were some beady eyes staring at me. I heard a woman voice, then a different voice. What the hell, man? I panically spoke into the walkie-talkie. Look, man, is your hatch locked? He said groggily. Yeah, it is. I waited for a reply. You probably saw a bear, and then there were some kids playing jokes on you. I could reply, no, man, you don't understand. It was coming from the eyes. Todd was tired, and he made that clear. Bobby, don't worry about it. I'm tired. It's late. Get some sleep. I've been doing this for 7 years. You get used to it. Keep your hatch locked at night. Any voices you hear are kids playing a prank on you. They probably had a head mounted at someone's stuff. I agreed with hesitation. I guess you're right. Let me get back to sleep. Thanks, Todd. Good night, Bobby. Hear from you tomorrow. I woke up. I didn't even remember falling asleep. I thought last night must have been a dream. I got up, cleaned the pot, pulled out some coffee ground, then made some coffee. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. The birds were up singing their favorite tunes. I looked out the window and saw something red in the same spot. I poured my coffee into a stainless steel cup, dropped some sugar cubes, and stirred with a spoon in the drawer. I walked out the door, unlocked the hatch, then walked down the long stairwell. I walked over to the area. What I saw was unsettling, and there was probably 5 songbirds torn to shreds. I was upset, but I understood. The point was made. Nature is fierce. I decided to walk through the woods. That's when I heard it. Bobby. It was a familiar voice, a woman's voice. I said, come here. After all, I was told not to leave the trail. The new response, Bobby, come here. It was sexual. I could feel it in the tone. I walked away. Leave me alone, kids. I walked away. From that day on. I never heard anything for the remainder of my stay. I became a full-time fire watchman. I heard of people going missing, being found ripped to pieces, always logged as a bear attack. To this day, I've never seen a bear in these woods. The end. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is my story. I hope you love it. Go ahead and leave a like and also comment down there what your favorite part was or a time that you've been scared. Also, subscribe. I make more of these videos, and make sure you put on the notification button. But until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.